Today we are going to cover Unit 9.4, Areas of Rectangles. First, let's talk about some key vocabulary that you will need to know. Area. The area of a rectangle is the amount of space inside a rectangle. Area is measured in square units. There are many units to choose from, and some choices make more sense than others. Base. The base of a figure is the bottom part of the shape. It's the length from one side to the other. Height. Height is the distance from the bottom to the top of a figure. It's basically how tall the figure is. The side that you use to measure the height is always at a perpendicular or right angle to the base. Formula, the math rule that can help you find the answer to a problem. For example, the formula for finding the area of a rectangle is A equals L times W. We will discuss this further later in the video. Now let's talk about finding the area of a rectangle. The first method we are going to cover is called square counting. Sometimes you will be lucky enough to be asked to find the area of a rectangle that lays on top of a square grid. In this case, you can do what is called square counting. All you're going to do is count all of the squares in the figure to find out its area. This figure has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. The area of this rectangle is 20 square units. Every time you express your answer for an area problem, you always use square units. Why is this? Think about the answer, and we will talk more about that in a little bit. Other times when finding the area of a rectangle, you will not have a nice, neat little grid in the background to look at. In this case, you will have to do something slightly different, although you can still use the method of square counting. Here's how it works. Let's say that the dimensions of this rectangle are 3 inches by 6 inches. First, I am going to divide the rectangle across the shape into 3 pieces, because the height of the shape is 3 inches. As you can see, I have drawn 2 lines which have created 3 pieces of this rectangle. Next, I am going to divide the rectangle top to bottom into 6 pieces. This is because the base of this rectangle is 6 inches long. As you can see, I have created my own square grid inside this rectangle. Next, all I have to do is count the number of squares I have created. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. The area of this figure is 18 inches squared. This is the square counting method for finding the area of a rectangle. Now let's look at another method for finding the area of a rectangle. This method involves using the formula. When using method 1, we explored ways to divide up a rectangle using its dimensions so that we have squares inside the figure. Then we counted those squares and came up with our final area of 18 square inches. What relationship do you see between 3, 6, and 18? If you guessed that the relationship is that 3 times 6 equals 18, you are right. This relates directly to the formula for finding the area of a rectangle. There are 2 formulas for finding the area of a rectangle. One is area equals length times width. Length is the long side, width is the short side, or area equals base times height. Base is the long side, height is the short side. Let's practice using these formulas by finding the area of this rectangle. Let's say that the dimensions of this rectangle are 16 centimeters by 7 centimeters. As a reminder, the formula for finding the area of a rectangle is area equals length times width. Our problem will look like this. 16 centimeters times 7 centimeters equals. I am going to do my work on the side. 16 times 7. 7 times 6 is 42. I'm going to write the 2 and carry the 4. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 4 is 11. My answer is 112. 16 centimeters times 7 centimeters equals 112. However, I'm missing the units. I need to add centimeters to my answer side of the problem. I also need to add the exponent 2 because I have multiplied two different dimensions together. My answer should be 112 centimeters squared. Here is your practice problem for the day. Find the area of this rectangle. Don't forget to include yards in your answer along with the exponent 2. Remember, you are multiplying length times width. You must express your answer with the yards and the exponent of 2.